Fortune and Strife features subjects which can be uncomfortable for a general audience, such as the use of drugs and alcohol, poor treatment of people of different classes or cultures, adult situations, psychological trauma, deprivation, survival, natural disasters, and violence. Listener discretion advised. In addition, these next few episodes of the show contain cultural and historical content based upon the peoples of Asia and the Far East. We are coming at this from a place of respect and genuine interest and a love of these cultures, places, and history. We may not get it 100% right all the time, and we ask you to bear with us and give us the benefit of the doubt, and we would let us know when we get it wrong. We want to be an ally in dispelling Orientalism that has affected the Asian and Middle Eastern communities around the world. Welcome to Fortune and Strife. I am Robert, or Bayoshi Shinichi, and I'll be your host and narrator.
I am Chini, and I am playing Toji Gen.
I am Tyler, and I am playing Akoto Richi. Let's play some L5R in the Burning Sands.
The guards having tracked you down to your unicorn meet, the Bronze Viper has sprung his trap. Ismail Alfara and a group of thugs, assassins, and cut purses has surrounded our characters, and they are pitched battle in the marketplace of Al Zawira. Again, throwing incense into a brazier has caused a great commotion and stir, and smoke and sparks to fly out about them to give them some cover against the onslaught as the assassins and Alfara rush them. Hayate taking on a group of hired enforcers by himself, and Sueno to the south holding off the cut purses. Through a series of maneuvers and cuts and swipes, attacks and counterattacks, thrusts and parries, the enemy has been whittled down, but at the same time, one of the guards has lost his life. Another guard is fighting for theirs after a poisoned arrow has pierced his back, and our heroes are on the edge of becoming overwhelmed themselves. All right, so we're going to start with round 4 here. With Alfara breaking contact with Richi and dashing towards Hayate with what was his poison knife to plunge it into his throat. Let's see how far he can get. All right, so with 2 successes, 1 strife, and 2 opportunities, the Bronze Viper will move 2 range bands on the success of the fitness test for maneuver. Then he will move 1 range band to get within 1 range band of Hayate, and then spend 2 opportunities to get within range 0 of Hayate. There we go. That's Alfara as he darts and dashes between you and the guard, and readies his attack by just coming up right up on Hayate from behind. And as he kind of scoffs back at you all like it's pointless to continue fighting in that godforsaken smoke. So with the Viper coming up behind him and the enforcers surrounding him from all sides, Hayate is going to go into Crescent Moon stance, which will let him strike back against anyone who comes to attack him, while also raising up his defense here, because this is not looking so great for the poor Kitsune. All right, so he's going to need to go into guard. He's going to do this in Earth. Hayate's check results in 1 success and 2 opportunities. That will raise his TN to be hit by 1. Then he will spend 1 opportunity to activate Crescent Moon style against Ismail. And then they will spend the second opportunity to reduce Richi's strife by 2, as he now turns to face Alfara and gives Richi a smile of both kind of showing his grim determination and acceptance of his opponent, like in just to kind of say, I've got this one.
That'll bring my strife down from 6 to 4.
Very nice. All right, with that, we go to Gen.
I am going to use my free action to step forward one range band to be in range 1 of the novice assassin. And I want to be in air stance. And I am going to strike at the novice assassin.
Excellent. Which weapon are you going to use?
I am going to be using my katana.
There you go. That'll be against a TN of 2. I believe. I don't think that they are in air stance at the moment. Let me double check that. Yes, they were in water.
I got 2 successes with 2 strife and 2 opportunities. I'll use 1 to find Samuel's demeanor and current strife, and 1 to add an opportunity to my next attack roll.
Got it. Ismail the Bronze Viper has currently 4 strife.
And I'd like to go ahead and do the damage to this opponent.
Of course, which would be
and that would be a 4.
4 damage. All right. They have 3 armed physical resistance, so they will take 1 damage. Still, put a little bit of a hurt on them.
Hayate, run! Sueno, cover him.
That brings us to the cut purses. The cut purses, having lost sight of Sueno, bear down and make a running dash into the incense cloud to try and get to Ricci. They will succeed. They will move 2 range bands. Then they will use their free movement to move within range 0 of Ricci. And they will use their opportunity to give themselves a free opportunity on their next martial skill check. All right. After the cut purses go, the guards go. The guard, looking a bit confused between Ricci and Gen, decides that they are going to continue kind of some of what they were doing earlier and back up Gen against what they think might be the hardier and tougher opponents, and they will give an assist against the novice assassin. Sueno, hearing Gen call out to cover Hayate, clambers up the stall with the low rickety shelves that they were storing some of their goods on, and she makes an attempt to get up to the second story of the building that they're at. I'm going to call that a TN2 fitness test to climb that, and she will do that in water stance. Sueno gets 2 successes and an opportunity. She will nix 2 strife off of herself. And when she reaches the top of the building there, she will move 1 range band towards the edge of the roof line, where she can hopefully get a better shot on the enemies that are assaulting Hayate. Ricci, that leads us to you.
So what I will do is I'll go ahead and switch on over to Earth Stance and just get a little bit more grounded in where I'm at here. Looking over at the enforcers, the ones that are a little bit hesitant to be here, that are surrounding Hayate, just call out to them and say, you see what he has done to his allies, and you see that I have been helping your countrymen, I guess. Do not stay and be murdered by this monster. Leave with your lives. And I'm going to try to appeal to them to leave using Earth and a little bit more logic.
Okay. Are you appealing, you think, with a courtesy, or are you telling them to leave?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was saying appealing, but no, we're telling
I was hearing a little bit more command in that.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to tell them to leave.
Okay. So, let me go ahead and take a look at that real quick.
Yeah, I'm in Earth, which gives me 3 Earth and my 3 command.
All right, so I have a TN, but I will tell you this. It will take a certain level of successes, either accumulated over multiple checks, or in a case of a really good check, maybe just 1. But I have a TN for you. I will give you a void point to do it blind, or you can know the TN.
I'll take the void point.
Okay, there you go. Oh yeah, you're out.
Yes, that puts me at my 1 void point as I Now I'm at least back up to 1, but I'm not looking to succeed at this, and I'll say that now.
Okay.
It'd be nice, but yeah.
Would be nice, but so what I got was 1 success, 2 opportunities, and a strife. The strife will cause me to take 1 point of fatigue because I am bleeding, unfortunately.
That is true. Mm-hmm.
However, the 1 success will not succeed. I know that for a fact right now. The 2 opportunities, however, as I will use Stonewall Tactics on them and increase their TN by 1 for each TN, for each opportunity I spend here. So they're going to have an increase of +2 for my Stonewall Tactics, plus an additional 2 for Dazed for trying to strike Hayate.
Stonewall Tactics for any check or just resistance checks?
I increase the TN of any check they make that does not target me.
Oh, very good. Okay.
So I am drawing a little bit of attention from Hayate to myself from the guards who don't want to be here to begin with.
I like it.
But more importantly, that I assume would be a scheme action.
That is a scheme action.
Which is not a movement or support, so I will no longer be disoriented.
That is true. You have finally shed 1 condition.
That's 1 of 4.
Which brings us back to the poor novice assassins. At this point, they're kind of fighting for their life at this point. They are going to attack again. They are going to do this in fire stance as they kind of lose track of themselves in the fight here. Again, what conditions are you under right now?
None.
Got it. Sounds good. All right. So yeah, they go into fire and let loose with what they have left in them. And what they had left in them wasn't very much. They get 2 successes, which with you in air stance and still inside the incense cloud that was generated by slippery maneuvers, there's no chance of hitting that TN5 that they needed there. But they will in a flurry of blows that none of them land, still are dangerous cuts and feints towards you. You will take 2 strife.
Okay. Puts me at compromised, right? That I'm at 12 out of 12.
No, that just means you are at your limit. It's when you exceed your limit is when you are compromised. Now that brings us to the enforcers. They're going to attempt to attack Hayate here. They need to do what they can, especially with the man who has brought them here to do this grim work is pretty much right in front of them. You really can't turn around when the boss is right there in front of you. At least not yet. Not once they see how terrible Stonewall Tactics will make everything. Okay, they shift into water. They are going to use their advantage of imposing. All right. Well, with 3 successes, they are not going to come close to hitting the TN of 5 that they need to do to hit Hayate this round. But with 3 opportunities, they're going to provide assistance to Ismail, and then they're going to reduce the severity of their next crit by 1. And then they are going to move 1 range band to possibly come in at Ricci if he's the one who wants to draw their attention so much. So they'd move to within 1 range band of Hayate and still 3 range bands of the party. All right, so that'll bring us to the end of round 4, going into round 5. Ismail kind of stalks around Hayate, keeping his target between the enforcers and himself, and tries to dart in a wicked stab of his knife, while Hayate looks to try and keep himself into a position where he might be able to counter what comes next. And for this, Ismail will go into fire. Ishmael, darting in and out of the reach and the guard of Hayate's polearm, is Yari not so great when an opponent is well within your guard, and he grabs hold of one shoulder while sticking him with the knife in the other, and he gets 4 successes, which is 1 more than he needed to have the strike pulled off. With this being in fire stance and 2 strife on this check, he will go ahead and add that to the total for bonus successes, which will be for 3 bonus successes. And then he will spend 2 opportunities to increase the severity of his next critical strike by the end of next turn that he dishes out with striking his fire. So with the knife, that will be 5 damage that is dealt to Hayate. Hayate reduces by 2, making it 3. And he's looking a little slower than he was just a few moments ago. Between the enforcers and Ismail, he might be nearing his endurance. Oh, and let's see. He turns to Gin, who shouted for him to run, and he says, "Samurai are made of sterner stuff than this. Our souls are clad in steel." And with a slip of the hand, he chops at Alfara, trying to get him just under the jaw with a jujitsu strike. With the practiced aim of a jujitsu chop towards, or jujitsu, with the practice motion of a jujitsu strike to Alfara's chin, Alfara somehow is able to spin and make it look like he's dancing with him, almost making Hayate look like a fool as the strike goes wide. Hayate spends one of his opportunities to reassure Gin that he is where he belongs, that he has sworn to Bushido, and that there is no better place for him right now than holding off Ismail and these enforcers right now, even though he is nearing the limit of his stamina. You may remove 2 strife if you like.
Gen refuses to be comforted by his heroic display and is fueling her anger for something else.
Fair enough. All right. Well, he doesn't know quite what to think of that, but for the rest of it, he will remove 1 of the strife off this check for himself.
Sorry.
No. That's he is a bit shaken that you don't seem to be taking his great samurai example to heart, and is a bit confused. All right, so with that is Hayate, which I believe just moves us directly to Gen.
All right. I am going to switch to a fire stance. And I am going to be trying to finish off this assassin that is in my range. All right. I believe I have assistance from the guard this time.
You do have assistance from the guard.
Okay. I have an additional opportunity from my last roll. Okay. That is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes, 4 strife, and 2 opportunities, including the one that I got from the air the previous round.
Absolutely. How do you want to spend your opportunities?
I would like to spend 1 opportunity to add 2 strife to Bronze Viper.
Got it.
And I will use another to increase the TN of the cut process by 1 if they don't include me as a target.
Sounds good.
As I am clearly, so that does a fair bit of damage. 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage. All right. 8 minus 3 will be 5.
Is that enough to take them down?
It is not. They are, that they need 12. That is 9 of 12.
Well, all right. I am fast compromised. I would like at this moment to declare that I am going to unmask. Right.
Right. What kind of unmasking would you like to take on?
Declare a challenge. I am going to challenge
all right.
Isamia, the Bronze Viper. And says, I know I am the one that you have been hunting for all along. I am the one you challenged in the banquet, and I am the one that you send your men after to poison. So if you want to fight this day, fight me.
Let's see here. All right. So, honors challenge. The character can bear the indignities no longer and demand satisfaction by way of steel. The character must challenge an antagonist in the scene to a duel, not necessarily to the death. The duel might be fought immediately, or the participants might take the opportunity to prepare for their battle. Yeah, no, we're gonna do this now. Um, that said, do you think that this includes the challenge action, or is it just like an automatic, I challenge you, kind of either accept or dishonor yourself kind of thing
That was the rules question that I was going to ask.
that you were going
This
to
was,
ask? Yeah.
yes, this is specifically on unmasking, specifically in combat. It doesn't say anything about a roll when you do it in combat.
Yep. Yep.
And, there's perks to unmasking in combat, so
Yeah. Sometimes, I think we're gonna go with because it is an unmasking. It is just going to happen. He's going to accept this challenge, and you two are going to fight it out as a clash here. Let me just make sure that I am getting the ideas of can be done at the beginning or end of turn. I just want to make sure. Once per scene, while characters compromised, the player may choose to have the character unmask, briefly surprise.
yes, I'm terrified. Okay, I'm terrified. All right, sorry. The last duel did not go so well.
It's all right. Yeah. Through the outpouring of emotion, you lose all of your pent up strife. You go to 0. And with that just outpouring of I'm the one you're after, this is who you've sent your assassins after and whatnot. Now you have a chance to face me. Ismail grins and kind of pushes Hayate aside and drops his dagger and spins his scimitar into a wicked series of figure eights as he comes striding towards you. Fair enough. I'll take your life and then the rest of these foreigners. The cut purses are not going to interfere with the duel. They are going to fight Ricci, which means their TN has been increased by 1 yet again with Ricci in the cloud. This is going to be a hard hit. This is a TN 5 for the cut purses to hit Ricci.
Yeah, we want them to miss.
Yeah. Let's see what I can do here. They keep 1 success, so they have a shortfall of 4. They did not have a chance to hit you there. But they are going to provide assistance to the novice assassin, and then they are going to use their free op to do fundamentally the same thing again, which is to provide themselves with another green die showing op on the next martial check. All right, so that is the cut purses. Move on to the guards. The guard is going to just attack the novice assassin. He will move into Earth, and first he's going to move so he's actually in range with his spear. There we go. His advantage is strength in numbers, which don't think he can make use of with his companion dead and his boss unconscious. So we will throw kind of as he goes back to back fighting with Ricci, he will throw a assist to Ricci for the 2 ops. And maybe his eyes sting a bit as he moves into the incense cloud and to fight back to back with Ricci here against the novice assassin. There we go. I like that explanation of it. Sueno moves into water stance, makes ready a handful of shuriken from inside one of her kimono sleeves, and she lets loose with a barrage against the enforcers of the small metal stars. She gets 2 successes, 1 opportunity, and 1 strife. Unfortunately, where her lack of depth perception would have been a liability. Ebb and flow turned her into a dead-eye shot, and it, forced her to actually be less accurate with coming up blanks, unfortunately. But that said, she does still hit with the shuriken, or at least makes them take a moment to dive and dodge from the throwing stars coming down on their heads. And with that, that'll be 2 damage towards them. Let me take a look here. Yeah, the defenders have no physical resistance, so they take 2 damage. And one of them goes down.
Good.
Right? Yeah, not bad. And with her 1 opportunity here, what does she want to do with 1 water op? She's just going to remove 2 fatigue from herself to bring her to 0. Actually, what did that check generate? I forgot. 1. That's right. She's at 1. All right. That is Sueno. Okay. Moving on from Sueno, we get to Ricci, who is now fighting back to back with one of the palace guards who has come to retrieve him. Cut purses move in.
So staying in the Earth stance, Ricci with a practiced hand and a little bit of a guiding, at least a little bit of assistance from the guard covering his back, will definitely pull out a bandage and start to wrap around his wound to remove the bleeding condition.
Okay, so that would be a TN to Earth medicine check.
Earth a 3 and a medicine a 3. So I got 2 successes and 1 strife, which, because I am bleeding still, I do take the point of fatigue, which puts me up to 10 of my 10 endurance. I'm not incapacitated yet, so we're good there. However, thanks to my Kitsu Medic School ability, I will be able to remove 4 fatigue from myself, because I am at school rank of 4. So this works out pretty well. It puts me down to 6 fatigue and no bleeding.
Very nice.
Now, I do have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I was dazed thanks to the poison. I just did not do a attack or scheme action. I did a support action.
Mm-hmm.
Is the dazed because of the poison, or was that just an effect that applied to me?
The dazed was an effect of the poison, but because you have now not performed a attack or scheme action, the dazed has gone away. So you can go ahead and mark that off as well.
Man, if only that counted for my Kitsu Medic School ability.
Right, but not so much. That one definitely says as a result of a medicine check. No, you did it just because you didn't punch someone in the face.
Well, I mean, that's medicine of a sort, right?
There you go. I like that idea. All right. So that's Ricci. And the novice assassin is going to close distance with our guard, and he is going to attempt to dispatch him. He unfortunately only gets 1 success and an opportunity because he is in the cloud and is an ally. There's going to be no way to make contact with him there. But yeah, he's going to. What's he going to do with that 1 opportunity? Yeah, I think that one's just gonna be a waste. There's not a whole lot to do with it on a minion. All right, so that brings us down to the enforcers. Now seeing that Ismail is going to square off against Gin, they decide that they need to break for as fast as they can towards that cloud to get away from Sueno raining metallic death from above. So they're going to make a maneuver action. Okay. The enforcers get a total of 6 successes on their maneuver check, which allows them to move 3 range bands, which means they are now down here in the thick of it with Ricci at range 1. But yeah, range 1 of Ricci and the guard. So now the cut purses and the enforcers are now mixing it up inside the incense cloud as Ricci and this guard hold position trying to defend against this onslaught of foes, and Nadim is unconscious at their feet. So now that we're at the end of the initiative, we are going to go into a clash, a special type of duel fought on the battlefield between willing participants. As The rest of the battle, the melee swirls around everyone with, so many people just fighting in the cloud of choking incense that you set up by one of the vendors, with Sueno hurling shuriken down upon the enemies, and Ricci fighting back to back with one of the palace guards against this onslaught. Doji Gin and Ismail Alfaro, the Bronze Viper, pair off on either side of a water fountain in the middle of the Alzawira marketplace. And, well, we go into the stare down as per normal duel. First round, everybody gains 1 strife. Okay, but now people can bid strife to gain initiative. At this point, Ismail has same initiative as you, but he has a lower honor, and so he is going first.
Before the stare down, you can change grips and drop things.
I believe it's in taking turns for your round. There's a thing for changing grips, and it's pretty much when you set your stance, you can change your grip and things like that.
Okay, well, I will. How do you want to do the bids?
You'll send it to Tyler, and I will send something to Tyler, and Tyler will tell us who has bid what.
Bids have been received.
All right. Would you reveal what they are?
Ishmael has bid 0. Doji Gin has bid 3.
All right. Doji Gin moves from initiative 8 to initiative 11.
All right.
Now you can take your turn. The character with the higher initiative takes their turn, followed by the character with the lower value.
All right. As my action, I will try to do a Lady Doji's decree. I will say a proper place is to begin just to ready your stance and try and look as majestic and beautiful as I can to just stun him into watching me for dangerous actions.
All right. And the TN for that is
1, because it's his the TN for the hit, that is his vigilance, and his vigilance was set to 1, I believe, at the very start of the scene.
Yes, it was. So with that, you have your TN.
Okay, let's see how this goes.
Yeah, I will warn you, inviting someone to a martial duel and then telling them that no, you can't attack me will incur an honor loss for courage. It'd be a major breach of courage, which would be your honor rank times 2. But being a crane, it would be cut in half, so it would just be your honor rank.
Well, we'll do it anyway. We'll see if this works.
There you go. All right.
Do I still have the advantage of Kamarist courtesy?
Yes, absolutely.
Can I use that advantage now to re-roll 2 of those dice, since this is a courtesy roll?
Absolutely. This is how you use that. Absolutely.
Do that much for me. That's okay. I do not keep any strife from this check since I am in void stance.
Yes, that is true. All right. So, how did your decree check turn out?
On my roll, I first seemed to flail a little bit, but then I remembered some small tidbits of Kamarist courtesy, which allowed me to keep 3 successes and 2 strife, but those are negated by being in void stance. In addition to those 3 successes, which should make the decree last for a total of 3 turns, if I'm lucky, I also will be keeping 4 opportunities from my school as a doji courtier, because this is a courtiering persuading role, despite it being in the middle of a duel. So
nothing to say that you can't try to persuade people during combat or duels or anything like that. Absolutely.
Gotta try. All right. I will spend 1 to lower the TN of the next strike in air. I will spend 2 to prevent scheme actions from targeting me as well during that time. And I will spend my final opportunity to discern the objective of another character in the scene. What does he really want?
What does he really want? He really wants to regain his lost sense of prestige and slighted honor. He wants you dead for, well, mostly Ricci, but you will do as well for embarrassing him in front of the Sultan.
Very well. And that's my action.
All right. Alfara will go into water and will uh, kind of take his blade and fine, if this is what you insist upon, that we go through some sort of protocol. It is odd that your method of fighting is to call one's opponent out and then refuse to engage with them. But, and he will do a water meditation check as he kind of runs a hand along his blade and attempts to center himself or find a sense of calm during all of this. So he will kind of run his hand across his blade, take himself into a fighting stance, and attempt to calm his nerves. He gains one strife off of this check, does succeed in at least keeping his cool with his now vigilance of 1, and we will reduce his overall strife by 1 because he gains 1 off the check. So, and then for his next action, he will reach into his sash and say, "But if you're going to fight the way that you like to fight, I'll fight the way that I like to fight." And he pulls out a small crystal vial of iridescent liquid. All right. That is the end of the clash. It is inconclusive as no one has been incapacitated, unconscious, or dead. Do you wish to continue?
Yes.
All right. Alfara for now wishes to continue as well. So now we go back to the standard initiative, but the standard initiative has changed a bit. Now Hayate is up to go first, and he decides it is time to go into water and is going to try to get a move on to flank the last of those assassins that have been plaguing you guys. Okay. Hayate is able to move 2 range bands off of 4 successes on a maneuver check. Then he will move 1 range band for free, and now he's within range 2 of the target. And he comes charging up from up behind the guard here, and he'll Ricci, I'm here. Don't worry. And he is going to make his strike next turn. All right. That is Hayate, and we will now go to the cut purses, who are trying as best they can. Like it's a tough life, but eventually one of these folks has got to make a successful or land a successful attack here again. All right, so the cut purses come in again, and they get 3 successes, 2 opportunities, 2 strife, and that is not enough to overcome Ricci's defense while within the incense cloud. So that is going to be another miss for them. But they got 3 opportunities here. They will throw an assist to the enforcers, and then they are going to again give themselves another free air op set to ring die set to op on their next martial check. But they gained 2 more strife there, so it's adding up. Can't do this forever. Next up would be the guard. The guard is attempting to drop the assassin. He's going to stay in earth, attempting to try and avoid those crits and the massive amount of status effects that were going around. He makes contact and will go ahead and do with a Yari, which I believe the base damage is 5. Yes. So 5 minus 3 is 2. And That is within 1 point of dropping that novice assassin. He is just about spent. The opportunity will be spent to, as he fights back to back with Ricci. He says, "This is as good a day to die as any, I suppose." Fighting off against the Caliph's wicked men. So Ricci can go ahead and drop 2 strife.
I will do so, and that will bring me down to 3 strife.
Hey, there we go. All right. After that, we have Sueno, who just shifts from the corner of the roof there for no real movement, and she's gonna unleash another flurry of shuriken down on the heads of the enforcers. Sueno shifts into Earth stance, kind of readying herself to put as much force from her feet through her hips, through her arm, as she lets loose with a barrage of shuriken down on the enforcers below. And she needs a TN of 1 because she is on elevated terrain. So she is going to hit with 4 bonus successes. So that will be, it's a base of 2 damage. Yes. So 2 becomes plus 4 becomes 6 damage. And then she will crit them because they are in water stance, and they will take an additional 4 damage on top of that. All right. With that, she drops 1 and wounds another. But the entire time she is pelting down here, she also has accrued 4 strife, as she has a front row seat to seeing Doji Gen squaring off against the Bronze Viper by the fountain, and her heart just constricts, and it's like there's a lead weight inside of it, and brings her to at least half of her composure is now eaten up. With Sueno, it comes to Ricci.
All right. So while staying in Earth stance, I'll go ahead and finally grip my katana in 2 hands, and we're going to make a cut at the cut purses.
Okay.
So again, that is an Earth of 3 and a martial arts melee of 4.
They are in Earth stance, so they are TN 3 to hit.
All right, that's just a solid hit. That's 3 successes and 1 strife.
All right, yeah, no, that'll do the trick. So what is the damage of your weapon?
It is damage of 4.
Damage of 4.
The standard issue Lion Clan katana.
All right, they are up, but one is reeling from that slash that you brought down towards him. You're pretty sure you take one more aggressive move towards him, and that one is either going to flee or just pass out and be knocked down at the dirt.
And then, just as a casual remark over towards Hayate, I'll just say, it's nice to fight beside you.
Very nice. Camaraderie from people who just a few months ago were trying to seal away Bisho and were trying to guard the Shigenja that were enacting that ritual that caused you to be blasted out this way, all this way. But to now be fighting as comrades is a commendable thing.
You build friendships when you share really bad sake together.
There you go. All right. The novice assassin is going to try one last attempt to dispatch this guard, knowing that anyone who can truthfully identify the attackers here needs to go down and needs to be wiped out. He goes into fire stance and swings with all abandon, and he comes up drastically short. 1 success is not going to make the TN4 that he needs while inside this incense cloud that has refused to dissipate after all this time. All right, moving on from the novice assassin is the enforcers. They are going to attack Ricci here. They are also going to go into fire stance for this. All right, so the enforcers come at Ricci, and with the assistance of the cut purses, they get 5 successes, 3 opportunities, and 3 strife. The biggest downside being here is that they cannot hit you with Sucker Punch to give you disoriented, and they cannot crit you because you are in Earth stance. So fundamentally for them, they're going to use 2 to throw a assistance back to the cut purses, and then they're going to spend 1 to reduce a critical strike that might hit them before the end of their next turn, because Sueno hit them for an additional 4 with that last turn, so that was pretty rough. But with the 3 strife and the 5 successes will hit you with 1 bonus success. Because they're on fire, the 3 bonus successes will also carry over, so that'll be 4 bonus successes. So that is a total of 9 fatigue coming your way.
All right. So it's get reduced by the 2 armor, brings it up to 7, which puts me at 13 of my 10 endurance.
Or you may spend a void point to take it as a crit instead, if you'd like.
Ooh, I could.
It is just a club. I will tell you, it is deadliness 2.
Just a club. Yeah, I'll spend the void point and take the hit.
Yeah, right. This is one of the times where it can pay off. All right. They didn't do striking as fire or anything else like that. You are literally just taking a deadliness 2 crit. So you will make a Earth fitness test at this point. See if you reduce it to 0, which you'll probably do. Maybe only 1, but still, a 1, 2, or 0 is always the same thing. So it doesn't really matter. But you can try to get some Earth Ops off right now or something like that if you wanted to.
Okay. That's 1 success, 1 strife, and 1 opportunity.
All right. What do you want to do with the op?
The op is, what it looks like is they come in and they hit Ricci with the club, and it kind of strikes him along the chest. And it doesn't look like it phases him all that terribly too much. And he just looks at Hayate and grins. And so I'm going to remove 2 strife from Hayate.
Excellent. And with that, your armor is damaged. So it'll be at now -2 physical resistance. So you now have 0 physical resistance, unfortunately. But it's way better than going to incapacitated for a little while. So yeah, that works out.
Very true.
All right. With that, we are at the end of the initiative, and we now move into the second round of the clash. With the second round of the clash, we both gain 2 strife. All right. And we will now make bids.
I have the bids.
All right. Reveal them.
Ishmael has bid 0. Doji Gin has bid 0.
So no additionals has moved forward there. That means it is the Bronze Viper's action to go first. They go into Earth stance, and they attempt to envenom their blade. All right. So he keeps 1 opportunity and 1 success. 1 success envenoms his blade, and the opportunity will be used to reduce the critical strike, severity of a critical strike that hits him before the end of his next turn. Just in case.
Just in case.
That is Ishmael's action.
All right. For my action, I would like to stay in void stance and center. Centering means that I roll martial arts skill dice and get to keep 1, 2, or all of them.
It's an interesting special type of check. So as a support action in void stance, you may focus your energy inward, envisioning your action in your mind and taking the perfect moment to make it. You must name a skill when you use center.
Martial arts melee.
Absolutely. Fitness is also not a bad one to do with this, but then you will roll your skill dice up to your ranks in that skill. You don't have to roll them all if you don't want to. And then you can reserve any number of these dice. If you do, the next time you make a check using that skill, you can swap out the dice. Yeah.
Okay. I did that. I got opportunity, a success, and a blank. I will keep the opportunity and the success.
Absolutely. That is the end of the clash. It is inconclusive. Do you wish to continue?
Yes.
So there's Ismail for now. All right. I'm Robert, or Bayoshi Shinichi, your host and narrator, thanking you once again for listening. Remember to catch new episodes every Monday. If you want to catch them early or are looking for more bonus content, please consider becoming a supporting member of the Patreon at patreon.com/courtgames.
I am Tyler, and I've been playing Akodo Ricci. You can find me on my personal accounts on Twitter at ChurcherGames or on Twitch, also as ChurcherGames. You can find the show on the web at courtgamespod.com. on social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram under Fortune and Strife, and on Twitter at L5RFNS. If you would like to contact us, you can email the show at fortuneandstrife@gmail.com.
This is Jeannie, aka Kikita Kaori, and also known as, at least today, Doji Gen. You can find me at my blog at the Winter Garden of the Kikita website, along with helpful materials for the RPG, and also on Twitter at White Veils or on Facebook. If you like, I am also found on the Court Games RPG podcast as a writer for Emerald Legacy, or check out The Table Is Yours for fiction readings of the FFG stories.
This has been Fortune and Strife, a Court Games production in association with D20 Radio Network and the Rokugana Historical Society.
Correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com.